computer. Okay, so I'm really excited about this. I was actually just supposed to be on Morgan's, and then I totally didn't realize that we have our stuff at the same time. So we decided to collaborate. She is a really freaking awesome leader, and I'm an ambassador. So, I mean, that's my only rite of passage. So yeah, I am really excited about this. So if you want to go ahead and get started, and then I will just follow your lead and it'll be awesome. And you guys, I don't know how you normally do things, but if you guys have like questions, stuff, put it in the chat. If you're like, oh, Morgan, I'm feeling it, like put it in the chat, you know, like give out love, whatever. It works. It gives good energy. So I will mute myself now.
Perfect. Okay. So I'll just go ahead and tell a little bit about my story to get started, and then we'll just go from there and, you know, answer some questions that we've already written out. But then if y'all have questions, we can answer those too. Cause this is for y'all. So we want to be able to help y'all and benefit you. So, so my name is Morgan, and I've been in the business for like 4 years now, and I joined for, just gas and grocery money. I was super broke. I was a college student. And I found out about this business through Instagram. A girl was posting about the wraps, thought they were total baloney. And I was like, there's no way that those actually work. And became a customer, tried them for myself, realized that they did, got super excited, told all my friends. And then I realized that the girl that was selling me the wraps was making as much money as I was whenever I was working full time as a nanny, working for 3 kids. And I loved my job, but I was like, if I could do this from my phone while I'm in school like she is, that would be even better. And so I never really looked at her and thought like, okay, she's making $1,200 to $1,400 a month with this business. I can too. It was like, she's doing that so I can make 100. So I never thought I'd be good at this. I never thought that I'd be successful. I remember saying if I can just get one customer, I won't have failed, because I was so scared of failing. And so I set my standards really low. And so basically I just got excited. I just started telling everybody about, what we were doing. And I was telling everybody about the products and getting excited, and just saying that I was going to get this, I was going to promote to the rank of Ruby and make $500 a month. I didn't even have a distributor under me at the time, but I was just telling everybody that anyways. And people bought into it. People bought into me, and they were excited because I was excited. They didn't know why I was excited, but I was. And they were like, well, I want to be excited too. So people were getting on board with that, like at the very beginning. And so I think a lot of people that think that they don't have a story to tell, yeah, you do. And just get excited. If you don't have anything that it works has done for you yet, say what it will. And that's what I did. And I promoted to the rank of executive 2 months in. And then 2 months after that, I went Ruby. And then I sat at Ruby for a long time. It was a year. And during that time, I was still working. Like I was still a top enroller, and I was still doing everything I was supposed to, but I was trying to help the people that didn't want to be helped. I was trying to work with the people who didn't want this. And that really set me back. And I thought I was doing the right thing, but I totally wasn't. And so instead of working with people who were excited and running, I wasn't. And so I almost quit the business during that year of me sitting at Ruby. And I think it was just because I started comparing myself. I started thinking, okay, well, so-and-so joined at the same time as me, and they're already, a diamond, and I'm just still a Ruby. And so I started to let myself get in that comparison trap, thinking that I wasn't promoting fast enough, and thinking that I wasn't, going to be good at this business again, because I hadn't gotten where everybody else was. And so, but then I earned a cruise, or we had like a cruise thing that we did. And so people got to go on a cruise to Mexico. And so I earned my spot there, and as a Ruby, which is really cool because most people were diamond and above. But I got to go, and that really lit my fire, just being around people that were excited about this business, being around people who, just encouraged me and that had the same goals as me. It was just like so foreign to me. So I got excited. I got pumped. I left. And 2 months after I left the cruise, I went diamond, and I promoted to Ruby, and from Ruby to Emerald and Emerald to Diamond all in the same day, earned $22,000 in bonuses while I was working 9 a.m. to midnight, 6 days a week. And then I was still working the other day. It just wasn't as much. I was working so many hours and still made it happen because I just wanted it that bad. Because I knew that if I could just push through those 31 days, or actually 28 days, no, 29, because that was a leap year that year, but it was in February. So if I could push through those 29 days, I knew that I would be able to quit those jobs. So I just pushed through. I don't think I slept for 29 days. Don't regret it one bit. Promoted to diamond, got excited, quit my jobs. And then after that, I still kept working. I learned a lot about leadership. And then after that, I went to my first conference, which was in 2017. And I went as a diamond still, and 2 people on my team. And then I heard Mark speak for the first time in person. I, for the first time, truly believed in myself that I really could do this. And then I was determined to, promote. And so in March of 2017, I went double. And then 2 months later, I went triple because I was sick of sitting in ranks for a year. So I was like, I'm not going to sit here for a year. So 2 months later, I went triple. And then, so my husband and I earned a lot of money and bonuses doing that too. And I was actually able to bring him home at that time. And we were just dating back then. But, so then, yeah, I went triple then. And then, this last year, we, went presidential in October. So that was kind of our timeline and how everything happened. And so, it took me quite a little time to be able to actually promote to presidential, but I'm so excited that I'm here, and next month we're going to ambassador. I'm just going to claim it, and super excited. And because of it works, we've been able to, I paid cash for college. I bought and paid off an SUV in 11 months. We just built our dream home, or we're building our dream home right now. They're actually laying the foundation this week, and I'm so excited. And get me out of this apartment, y'all. I'm so serious. I am done. I'm done. Okay, so we're doing that. We paid off $20,000 in credit card debt. This month, we're paying off my husband's student loans with one paycheck that we got from this business. And we were just so excited. Like, I mean, our team's doing the same thing now, which is the best part. Like, we're watching them do what we just got to do. And so that's so crazy. So I'm super pumped, but that's my story in a kind of a long version. So sorry about that. But so now I want to hear about your story, Christy. Oh, where'd you go?
So I made you spotlight. I love that. First of all, I love when leaders just like go off, because can you guys not like feel the energy? Like that's what it is. Like when you get so like excited about this business, you're like, and I'm so excited. So I love it. I love it. And everything you said too, I think it's so important to see, because it's funny. Because there are a lot of people who went super fast, but I was also a turtle in the beginning. But slow and steady, I guess. So my story is, well, and also your boyfriend, that's pretty lucky. You're like, hey, come home, but you guys aren't even married yet. It's so funny. To me, I'm like, lucky guy. Guys, it works like husbands and boyfriends, like, they're lucky. Like they should definitely be helpful and supportive, because they get like the best life ever. So, and obviously they help and stuff too. So, anyways, so I am Christy Christensen. I'm an ambassador. I have 3 kids. Not that that matters, but she doesn't have any kids. So I have 3 kids, 1 on the way. And it's a girl. Not that that matters, but, so we're really excited. We're going to have a whole clan of our own. I started this business 6 years ago, so I've been in just a little bit longer. I was slower than molasses. So my first 3.5 months in the business, I didn't even sign a customer or a distributor. I just had my auto ship on, and this is why, like, I know sometimes people might think like, you just want my auto ship on because you want to make money. No, like my auto ship being on, I truly believe is the reason why I'm still here today. Here's the deal. I didn't know how to turn it off. So I had these wraps coming. I had these 2 boxes of wraps coming, and I was like, okay, I should probably like sell these or do something with them, right? So I just paid for them. And so what I would do is I would just sell them for $25 each. I didn't know how to sign a customer. I didn't know how to sign a distributor. The girl who signed me up, she was kind of like gone before she really started, but I was on a team page. So I was just like, okay, I'll sell these wraps, and I was bringing in cash. And my husband's like, dang, you're bringing in like lots of cash. And so that just kind of showed me the vision of the business. Like that's what I needed to see. Sometimes you just need to see a little bit of cash money. So I really urge you guys to have at least 1 bag of keto coffee on your auto ship so that you can see cash. Because mentally, when you're growing, and this is like not part of my story, but mentally, when you're growing this business, you are going to be working without seeing any pay. And in a normal mindset, the way we're raised, it doesn't work like that. You're like, this doesn't make sense. Like my mind is not adding up, but you need to see that cash. So that was a huge thing for me. My husband and I, we were on Medicaid and food stamps. He was in school and working. So he would go to school, come home, eat, go to work. And then I look familiar? Okay, thanks. Why do I know you? Like for real? Like from real life? I don't know. I don't know if that was sarcasm. So anyways, I get really distracted easily. So we weren't like drowning yet, because I found this business right when I got married, right when I graduated cosmetology school, and right when I moved to Utah. So I'm super grateful, because had I not, we would have accrued debt and things like that. But I just realized I was not seeing my husband. I was newly married and I wanted to have a baby. And I was like, this is not fun. And I live in Vegas. This is not fun. And I was like, this is not, number one, how marriage should be. Like, you never see your spouse. How many of you guys feel like you never see your spouse? Like, that's what I feel like. I feel like you never see your spouse. And so I was like, I got to change something. So this girl, she actually just showed me the diamond chart and said, do you want to make a $10,000 bonus? And I was like, yeah, sure. Of course. Why not? Like, that means nothing to me, but okay, I want to make money. So I signed up for the $99. And again, I had a slow start, but then I found a girl who wanted it, like I wanted it, even though I didn't know what I was doing. I knew that I wanted to know what I was doing. Right. So I found a girl, and she was actually better than me. She enrolled like more people than I did faster. But I was like, okay, we're doing it. So like at 8 months or so in, I went emerald, and then I went diamond a few months later. And that was right when I had Emma. And then I was like, yay, I'm diamond. I have this team. Everyone's awesome. And then I got complacent and I sat there and I was like, my whole team's going to just grow by itself and it's going to be amazing. And that's not how this business works. If you are sitting here expecting to get to the next rank and then take a break, you might as well just not do the business. Like, and that sounds bad, but I'm so serious. I would have more regret running to a rank and then like walking away from my team's momentum than from just not even like running with them in the first place. So you guys, our company is in momentum. We are in so much momentum. I don't care if you're a brand new distributor and you're like, girl, I don't even know what momentum means. Like, what is this? Just learn and just grow your business, because momentum is everything. So I went double like 6 months later. Again, I did the same thing. I was like, my team's balling. I made like a $5,000 paycheck. I was like living the dream. I was able to bring Aaron home. And then guess what? I dropped down to diamond. And I said that when I was going for triple, I would never do that again. I said, I'm never going to do that again. I'm not going to slow down. I'm not going to stop. So then I went triple then at the next conference, and you guys, conference changed everything for me. But I went triple after the next conference and I never lost it. My checks just kept going and going and going and going. And then when we were going presidential, so I want to show you guys what's possible, because sometimes the numbers look hella scary, right? Like how far away you are, you're like, this is really scary. In January of whatever year I went ambassador, I don't even know, 2016 or 15 or something. God, it seems so far away. So in January, I was a triple diamond with about 86,000 in volume. And that sounds like a lot for a lot of you guys, but I was a triple diamond with 86,000 in volume. The next month I went presidential, my volume doubled. The next month my volume doubled again. And two months after that, I went ambassador. Because I said, I'm not going to lose this momentum. Like when your team is rolling, you just roll with them. So anyways, that's my story. That's like way bigger than anything else. But you know, all of the amazing things, of course, we live in our dream house, but we're also going to build our next dream house next year. And our dreams got a little bit bigger. And honestly, the best part is that I have my husband home, like with our 3 kids. Like I actually really love him and I like to spend time with him, and I'm glad that he's at home. And I don't want to not see him. I'm really grateful. Bye. So anyways, and he's just in the other room. And so, yeah, that's really, really what it's about, you guys. But it comes to the point where you can just change people's lives. So anyways, I could go on and on. Don't even know. Okay, hold on. Where'd your face go?
Morgan, hey, can you see me?
Yes. I wish we could do like dual screen.
I know.
I'll put you on spotlight.
Oh, good. Okay. Okay, so I want to ask you this question first, and then I can answer it after you. But just working the business, like we have so many people who are on here who are moms that are even on like my team too. Like I have some moms on my team, and I feel like they think that I can't relate to them, which I don't have kids, so that's partially true. And they think that like, well, they don't have time, but I just don't get it because I'm not a mom. And they've never said that, but I totally see why they would think that. So as a mom or just a busy person in general, how do you make this business work for you? And like, what does a day look like for you as far as like tasks and how you fit this into your schedule and what you will never not do every day?
So first, I will say this. I'm actually super grateful that I have kids, because on the days that they're like either like they go to school a couple days a week, whatever, I feel like I just scroll. I am so unintentional. So I'm actually really grateful, because I think that it's the most true thing in the world that busy people get stuff done. So be grateful, you guys. The next thing is just, own the chaos. It's not going away. It's just not going away. So for me, what my day looked like, because I'm going to start when I started, because my day now looks different than me having my husband home. Guys, make sure you Viri, I'm going to get you. Can hear? See, I can hear her yelling at her kids. It's not going away. So funny, but
I'm sorry.
It's okay. He is one of our Latina leaders. So anyways, so for me, what my day looked like before I was like retired home was I would just go to work. That is too late for those slippers. He wanted to turn the heater down because it's like a hot box in here, but I said only if he gets the slippers, and it's a little late for that. Anyways, sorry guys, so distracting. So anyways, for me, it looked like I had one kid at the time, and it was really hard. Me adjusting to like one kid was actually really hard because I was trying to breastfeed and all this kind of stuff. So for me, it was number one, using the products and just sharing that. That is the easiest and the simplest way that you can just grow your business. You guys, because honestly, it's all about content. It's about putting out content. If you don't put it out, people don't know what you're doing. They don't see what you're doing. They need to see things like 12 times before they even, are going to commit or do anything with you. And that's minimum. So for me, it just looked like starting to actually use the products. And just share my results, share my excitement, share my this, share my that, like along my busy life. Because it just, if you're making a shake, it does not take a long time to videotape it, right? And put it up there. So that's probably the easiest thing. And then honestly, when I would have her on me, I would just message, or I would put her in the, the jumper or whatever. And, you guys, it's all about pre-planning it. So it just has to be a priority. And so even now for me, like things are crazy with all the kids. My husband's opening a salon suite. So it's honestly been kind of freaking wild. So what my day looks like now is I get up, and how you start your day is everything. I do not care if you have 3 jobs, and I actually love your story because you sound more busy than me. I think that your shifts and as much as you work sounds way busier than me as a mom. So for me, what I do is I wake up, I kind of respond to my messages while I'm getting ready for the gym, getting the kids out the door, that sort of thing. I'm very much so like work on the go. That's just what works for me. We go to the gym, and when I'm at the gym, I listen to personal development, because if you guys don't start your day like that, the day will run you. Like, it will run you over with a car, especially when you have kids. It's so true, you guys. They will run you over. Kids are crazy. So anyways, so I'll do that, and then I'll come home, and I have found 1 hour a day where I'm just intentional is all I need. That's it. So what I do at 11 a.m., I do a power hour because it keeps me accountable. If the kids are being crazy, I still sit and I still do it. I'll just do it on the floor, play with them, whatever. But when you guys set something publicly, it keeps you accountable. So if you are like, you know what, I suck at being accountable, set something up for the team. Say, hey, every day I'm going to be there at 10 a.m. to do a power hour. So I do it 11 a.m. And in that 11 a.m. time, I do follow-ups with my team and with my potentials. And then I will add people and I will do my messages. Because for me, like, I could sit, you know, at the table with the kids doing something and make a post. Like, that's super easy. But the messaging thing, like, you need to be a little bit more intentional with that. So I'll just spend that power hour, do my messaging, and then people are going to respond to you throughout the day. Most people are not going to respond to you in the afternoon, right? Because either they're at work, you're at work, whatever. So either get your messages out either really late at night, really early in the morning, or at lunchtime. Like, people will get back to you at like the next like time, right? Like, that's just kind of how it works. Because if you work midnight shifts, send them out right before your midnight shifts. Can we see you talk? What does that mean? So either, you know, people are going to be working different shifts. So you just find that power hour that works for you, where you can send messages out, and then people will respond to you. I hope it's me now. And people will respond to you after that. And you can just respond to them throughout the day. Like, it doesn't need to be so like, oh, I'm a businesswoman, I have to sit at a table. Like, I have never been like that. And I just barely started the power hours like last year, when I'm like, got lots of kids and it's crazy. So really that's what works for me. And then before bed, I kind of do like another like power hour-ish. We sit in bed, we turn on a show, whatever, Erin watches it. I follow people. I respond to people. I, you know, do create content, you know, like an Instagram story, put it up, or do a poll or whatever it is. And that honestly is all I do. Like, it's really not that hard if you're just intentional. Like, your life could be the busiest ever or the non-busiest ever. But if you just find like, hey, this is my time to message, this is my time to post, this is my time to create content, and this is my time to follow up, it's easy peasy. I think that the hardest thing is not actually getting in the routine or finding the time. I think it's just that you might not know what to post or what to message or what to create yet. But once you do, and once you say, oh, Morgan has this script to message, whatever, once you actually do that, it's easy peasy. Like, I can send out, 20 messages in 10 minutes. It's so easy. So anyways, that's my life.
Okay, that's super good. And like, I'm going to have totally different, well, not totally different, but different tips too. So like, the thing is just to find what works best for you. And like, what works best for me right now may not work best for me, in a few years whenever I may or may not have kids, like it's going to always be different. So, so my thing, like, I'll talk about first whenever I was in college, because I know that there's a lot of people in college right now. And so I'm going to talk about that and like what I did whenever I was like going to school full time. I still had 2 jobs. So I was I was always gone. And my school was 45 minutes away from my house. So like half of my day was spent driving, and then I had to go to school all day. And my homework, so I went to school to be a sign language interpreter. My homework wasn't at home where I could just like do my homework while I was working. Like it was like out with the deaf community. And so like I literally was busy all the time. And so some things that I did. Number one, I woke up early. And I went to bed late. It's very, very common sense, but so many people aren't willing to make that sacrifice. And I always say this, like, being where I am right now, I know the sacrifice it took to get here, and I never look back and think, man, if I had just had an extra 30 minutes of sleep back in 2014, that November 3rd, man, I would feel so much, but like, no, you don't care. You do it, like, yeah, it sucks then, but embrace the suck. Like, it sucks, but do it anyway, because you know that whenever you continue to do it, it's going to get better. Like, it's going to get you where you want to be. So did I feel like waking up early and staying up late after my 9 a.m. to midnight shifts? No, but I did it because I knew that I didn't want to do that for the rest of my life. If I didn't do something about my situation, it was going to remain the same. So somebody said it's hard now, but it won't be hard forever. Exactly. So know that what you're doing is going to put an end to what you're having to go through now. And so I knew that me continuing to do this was going to help me stop having to work both of those jobs. So I kept that in mind because I had a really strong why. And so I woke up early. And whenever I woke up early, the first thing I did was I made a post. Things were a lot different back in 2014, but so I made a post, and I followed people on Instagram, and added some people on sorry, can you put me on like speaker view? I'm gonna get super distracted.
No, I did, I think. Here,
okay.
Let me put you back. Okay. I muted that person though, but let me get you back on the
Okay, sorry. I would
screen.
say I'm ADD, HD, and high definition. So like any like shiny object, I'm always like,
well, between me and you, I'm sure.
Zoom, y'all hang in there. Okay, so all right. So I would like make a post. I'd follow people. And then I would also start messaging people. So like on Instagram, Facebook, whatever, I would start messaging people and just ask them if they'd be interested in being a product model or whatever it was. And so I would just start getting the word out to as many people as I could. And we didn't have Insta stories back then, but if we did, I'd do one of those too. And so then like literally anytime I had a chance to work, I did, because I knew again that would be worth it for me instead of scrolling or instead of online shopping. Like, you guys use your phone more than you think that you do, and you say that you don't have time, but it's because you're not telling your time where to go. I was intentional with my time because of how busy I was, and now that I'm not as busy, I still get just as much done being not busy as I was whenever I was busy. You just know what you're doing with your time. And so I would go to school, but on my drive there, I would do self-development. This is before I don't even think they had Audible. I don't know if they did. I didn't use it, but I just looked up random stuff on YouTube, like how to get LCs. And like, I would watch every video. They didn't even have autoplay back then, but I just like clicked every video I could watch. I literally looked at every single leader. I've been watching them for forever, trying to figure out the best tips. I'd listen to that. I remember listening to Jade Hooper's video back when she had that blue or green hair. And I watched that video while I put my makeup on in like the house that I lived in whenever I started this. Like, I was always finding a way to learn more from other leaders. And while I was at school, anytime I went to the bathroom, I took my phone with me. And I would take my phone and I would message people while I was in the bathroom. And whenever I went to work after that, I would go to the bathroom intentionally to message people. People probably thought I had a major bladder issue. They're like, why is this girl in the bathroom again? And like, I would just take my phone with me and just message people or respond to messages. And I would do that as quickly as I could. And I remember, that was the pockets of time that I made for myself. Whenever I had a break, I would bring my food with me so I wouldn't have to go take time to go get food. And I would eat my food while I had my break. And I would message people and I would talk to people. I remember enrolling customers on my break at work, and it was a 15-minute break. y'all, it is so worth it. And I never regret doing any of that, but it was hard. It took grit, and I was grinding. Like, I was hustling for sure, because I knew that that's what I had to do. And I knew that it wasn't just going to happen. Success wasn't going to happen to me. I had to go out and get it. I had to create that success. And so I was not taking failure for an answer. Like, I was not going to just like sit back and be like, oh, well, you know, I'm just too busy, so I can't do this. I joined because I was busy. So why would I let the reason that I joined become the reason why I can't do this? That makes no sense to me. If I join because I'm busy and I want that freedom of time, but I'm not willing to go out there and get it, that's on me. It's not because I don't have time for this. It's because I'm not willing to put the time in. So that's one thing that I did. Now, whenever I wake up, this is going to be more relevant as far as social media because we've come so far. But I wake up, first thing I do in the morning is I do the things I need to do around the house first, because if not, I get super distracted. So I don't get on my phone at first. That's actually a good tip that I've learned. And now if you work a job and stuff like that, if this is more for like stay-at-home moms, I guess, or college students that go to school later, because sometimes morning is all the time that you have. But for me, I don't get on my phone first thing. I get everything done that I need to around the house. And then I go and respond to messages, and I make my keto coffee, and I record myself in some form or fashion every morning making my keto coffee, whether it's a boomerang or a video of me or, you know, just pictures. Like, I'm always talking about that. That is something that I do for my business every single day. I always do my follow-ups after that. I sit down at my computer or on my couch, and I get cozied up with my keto coffee, and I get my work done. And I'm intentional. I'm not watching TV. I'm not, you know, doing anything else except for working. I'm putting that hour of really intentional time in. And every single time I do that, I have the rest of the day to spend reaching out to my team, talking to my newbies. I have that time to go out and message people, make my posts. And then every night before I go to bed, I set my posts up for the next day. Because guess what? You get busy, and then you realize, like, in the middle of working out at the gym, and you're like, crap, I have not even posted today, because you've been running around like crazy. And then all you have to do is reach down to your phone, go to your Instagram, you have it saved in your drafts. If you don't know how to do that, I'm sure you can look up a YouTube video. Super simple. But you can save it in your Instagram drafts, and I click a picture and I click share. Boom, I'm done, and I don't even have to worry about it, and I post it, and I'm growing my business. And so those are things that I do, and I just find times to do that. Today I was driving around a lot and did a live video to train my team. So you can find the time to do it if you're really intentional about it. Okay, so we have a lot of people on here who are new, or some people have been in for a long time, but we want to talk about signing distributors too, because there are so many people who have promo codes, whether it's from conference or whether you just got your promo codes from last night whenever they announced them. I'm so excited. I already have girls who just joined who are like, I have my promo codes. Like, I have people lined up ready to go whenever I get them on Wednesday. So how are you getting distributors, and how are you teaching your team to sign distributors, especially newbies?
Okay, so for me, I do, some people don't teach this, but I do. I say be a copycat, because when you're new, like, you can grow your network, you can grow, you know, your story, you can grow things like that. But like, if you want the urgency of signing people right now, for me, like, I know how to make Instagram stories that attract people. So share mine, you know, take them or copy them, Pinterest. Right now, like, what's hot is stories, Instagram and Facebook stories. Okay. So for me, like, I'll see that I have like 900, 1,000 views on my story, but I only have like 100 likes on my actual posts on Instagram or Facebook. So that just tells you like where people are at. So you go, like, we go where the people will go. So for me, like, I blow up my stories. If you're looking for distributors, blow up your stories. The biggest thing is that people, I know a lot of people need that personal invite, not necessarily like message personal invite yet. I'll talk about that, but people need the personal invite on a post or on a story. So I would say 50% of the time on my Instagram stories, I will either say swipe up, message me ready, or I'll do a poll, because it just seems like people they're interested, but they're scared. They're like, does she want me? I've actually had somebody say, like, I didn't message you before because I didn't know if you would want me on your team. And I'm like, what? You know, so they don't see what we see. So always have some sort of call to action. I obviously have been in the business for a long time, so I do call to actions. I say like every other time. So I just put on the Instagram story. I just type swipe up and that will swipe them up to message me, whatever that word is, that call to action word. So that's really big. So you guys like make Instagram stories. Instagram stories are life. Sorry, squirrel. Okay, sorry. Guys, got to keep yourself muted. So that's really huge, Instagram and Facebook stories. So this is something I've kind of seen with newbies, you guys. We'll put out stories to share or ideas of stories, and you guys are posting them on your Facebook as a post. If they are long and skinny pictures, they are for Instagram stories, okay, or Facebook stories. I put them on both. People watch both. So do that. The next thing is make a list of 30 people that you want on your team. Numbers really matter in this business. And so I don't care if you know them really well. I don't care if they're from high school. I don't care if you don't know them really well. I don't care if they're a stranger from Instagram. What I want you to do is I want you, even as a newbie, I want you to make a list of 30 people from your social media or from your phone book. One of my newbie girls, she just signed 2 distributors because she literally just went through her phone and said, who do I have in here that I want on my team? And I told her to go back and message everybody because you just never know who wants to be on the team. She's like, well, this girl, she's kind of busy. I'm like, no, that's not for us to judge. So never prejudge someone if you think like they would be wanting to do the business or not. Because there's a lot of people that make great money and have no time. There's a lot of people who have time and no money. So make a list of 30 people and just reach out to them. Guys, this business is all about asking. However you're asking, whether it's a call to action on a post, whether it's a message, whether it's a text. So just say, hey, just be personal. Just say, hey, Morgan, I started this business and I was making a list of people who I know would be so freaking awesome at this business. And if you can voice message and be just like hyped up. I don't care. Do a keto energy. Do whatever you need to do. See, he even likes my energy. Just be like on a whole nother level, literally. Be at 100%. I don't care. This is what I do sometimes, you guys. I'll be like, bye kids. And I'll like run upstairs and I'll be like, oh my gosh, girl, what do I do? Because they just need to hear your excitement. That's it. Okay. So I am not Cassie. So funny. It's okay. So funny. I knew that was going to happen, but I didn't want to change anything on her. So anyways, so just send them a message and say, Morgan, I think you'd be so freaking good at this business. Like I just started it and I'm going to help people make an extra $500 a month. Like I already have a game plan for it. It's going to be so freaking awesome. And I want you on my team. Like, would you be interested in hearing more about it? If you guys can get them to say yes, your enroller, your diamond and up, your opportunity call. I know we all do them, whatever it is. We will help seal the deal or we will walk you through the rest of the conversation. Okay. All you got to do is open-ended question at the end. Don't say like, what do you think? They don't know what you're doing. So I always say like, would you be open to hearing more about it? Or would you be open to an extra income? Like if they say no, that's weird. So you know what? Make a list of 40 or 50 people. Where do you want to be at? You want to go fast or you want to go slow? You want to, have a lot of people join your team, or do you want to have just a couple, right? So the bigger your numbers are, the bigger your paycheck will be, the bigger your team will be, the bigger everything else will be. So that's honestly what I would say for the biggest thing for a newbie to do right now is to put out a couple good content posts, some good content stories each day. But really it's those messages, it's those personal invites while you're still growing your network. And I'm really big, like with growing my network. If there is something that I do not miss every single day, it's putting out content and it's growing my network, because I know that I can still sign people. Pretty much everything is a non-negotiable, all 5 things: post, message, follow up, ad, and personal, development. I do all of them every day. But if I was in the hospital dying, I would choose to put out content and I would choose to add new, because you can always find new people that want that. But yeah, even if you guys are not new, you should still be doing that. I would not be where I'm at if I didn't actually reach out to people. I know that there are some people that only say like attraction marketing, but half of my leaders came from me offering the business and following up. The other half of them came to me because they saw the little bit of success that I had from the people that I was reaching out to. So that's huge, you guys. And if you can just go live and excitement, like excitement is everything. They don't care. They don't care what you're doing if you're excited. They literally don't care. It doesn't matter to them what products you have. It doesn't matter anything. If you're just like hella excited, they will like say, yeah, give me some more information. I want to be a part of this. Nobody wants to be left out of something super fun and awesome. So, those are my tips.
Okay, those are super good. And I will share some of my tips, and some of them are the same. But again, we both do things super differently. So find what works best for you. If what you're doing right now isn't working, try what she's saying if you're doing what I'm doing, or vice versa. Or if what you're doing right now is working, keep doing that. But these are some extra tips if you want to implement these too. So don't ever feel like you have to get off this Zoom and change everything that you're doing. Like if what you're doing is working, do it. So one of the things, so I actually literally just signed a distributor while you were telling your tips about signing distributors. So I went back to our messages to figure out like what I did to talk to her. So I actually messaged her in September 27th. And we always say this business is a few months behind your efforts, and it's so true. People that are so quick to be like, I'm messaging everybody, nobody's responding to me. When people tell me that, that's what they sound like.
That's what they sound like.
I'm like,
oh my God, I'm dying.
It's the best. Well, and a lot of times, like people have talked to everyone in 2 hours of being in the business. I'm like, that is like record time to talk to 7.7 billion people that we have in this planet. 2 hours. That is really, really awesome. So you haven't talked to everybody. And I know that sometimes it feels like that. I remember that. I remember thinking, what if I don't find anybody else that wants these? What if I don't, what if nobody's interested in this? What if I come across, like just come to a halt where nobody wants this anymore, whatever. But my efforts are a few months behind, or my enrollments and my me like sealing the deal with people is a few months behind me actually messaging them. So we know the fortunes and the follow-up. So I messaged this girl in September and asked her just to be a customer. She didn't reply. So then I said, did I catch you at a bad time? And this was October 2nd. I was trying to go presidential. So I was like messaging everybody that didn't reply to me. And so still no response. But then she messaged me this morning and she said, hey, I hope you're having a great day. And this is after I did my live video or my story about me making my coffee. Like I didn't even post about the business at all this morning. And one of our girls that signed up with me this month, she said, look at when you first messaged me, March 2017. If there is one thing that I am, it's consistent, guys. I am always on it. Like I will... Like literally, I will not give up on you if you don't reply back to me. But
I always tell my girls, like, either you sign or you die. Like otherwise you ain't coming off my list.
Yep, exactly. I'm like, I'm not gonna stop because people's situations change every 6 to 9 months. So like maybe somebody right now doesn't need the business, but then they get pregnant and they're like, ooh, I really want to stay at home with my baby. So now all of a sudden they said no, but now they want it. So she just basically said like, talk to me about your business. You inspire me daily and your attitude's incredibly contagious. And it's just because I'm a positive person and I always put out that positivity, whether it's about the business or just life in general. That's what I want people to feel when they come to my page is like, like this is refreshing. Like that's what I want them to feel. So she said that. And then I asked if she was familiar with It Works, gave her the information. And she said, sign me up. Like I'm ready to go. I want to do this. I've been watching you. You're super positive and I know I can learn from you. So be yourself. Like that's the biggest thing is show people who you are and be the best version of yourself. So don't put your dirty laundry out on Facebook or Instagram. Like if you're having a bad day, that is not the place to talk about it. Don't put those negative things, those, oh crap, somebody, cut me off and then I got a flat tire and then I lost my keys. Like, okay, well, you can text your husband that or something. Don't post it on Facebook because you want people to feel excited and passionate and just like a breath of fresh air when they go to your page. And then they'll reach out to you just from feeling that. And they're like, what is this girl doing that is making her so positive? And it is this business. This business has given me a lot of encouragement and a lot of people who genuinely care about me. And so it has made me really excited. So when you make people feel that way, they want to reach out to you. In a lot of ways that I teach my newbies to sign distributors is by teaching them to enroll customers. I feel like that is a really good gateway, because if you can get them enrolling customers, then you can also help them like make a post about how they enrolled a customer. So I have a post that I have my newbies do whenever they sign their first one. And it's like, I just signed my first customer. I am so excited. I am one step closer to reaching blank goal. Right now it's, $3,000 in my first 90 days. And this money on my next check is going to go towards blank. And so then I have them post that and with like the fonto where they like overlay it on a picture of themselves, and I'm teaching them how to do that. And then they sign another one. I'm like, great. What were you doing when you signed that customer? They were like, I was sitting getting my oil changed. Okay, perfect. Take a picture where you're at right now at the oil change place and post that over that picture and talk about how you just signed a customer at the oil change place, because people want to see, oh, dang, I go to the oil change place. If I can make money there, that would be great. Oh, she did that while she was cooking dinner. I can do that too. So like they realize that it really is something that you can fit into your life. And then another thing, so by them signing customers, that automatically will help people get interested in the business part of it, because they see you making money. They want to make money too. And then sharing your story. And like I said before, you have a story to tell. Whether you joined this business 2 seconds ago or 2 years ago or 20 years ago, you have a story to tell, and yours is just going to look a lot different than mine. I have a lot of things that Works has already done for me, but you have to realize that I didn't get here like join the business and they're like, oh, we'll just make you a presidential diamond automatically. Congratulations, you've hit that rank. Like, I had to work my way up to here. So if I had waited until I had a story to share my story, I never would have had that story to share, because I never would have gotten the people who helped me get to the rank that I'm at, right? So I never would have helped enough people if I wasn't actually sharing what my story was going to be. So somebody that joined 4 years ago, maybe they're going to talk a lot about what the business did for them, but you should always be talking about what it's going to do for you. And everyone has that part of the story that they want to tell. Why did you join? Talk about that. Claim those things that you want. Say, I am going to earn $3,000 in the next 90 days with this business. I am going to promote to Emerald. I am going to, make $1,200 a month. I am going to make $5,000 a month or replace my income. So, and then the other thing I want to hit on too, that's more than just a tip, because I think we can learn tips all day long and they're really great and they're really helpful. But if you don't have the mindset going into it, if you don't have the right mindset, like you're not gonna, it's not gonna help you as much to do the same exact tips with the wrong mindset. So basically, like whenever I joined, and I know so many people think this too, is I was like, how do I get distributors? How do I get distributors? Like I would always ask my enroller, how do I get distributors? And what I realized through a video that Tiffany Hurd did that I watched on my way to school back in 2014, she said my biggest and best tip to helping people sign distributors is to realize to stop calling it getting distributors. You're not getting distributors. Your goal when you wake up in the morning should not be, how can I get distributors? Like, it's, how can I change people's lives today? Whose life can I make better by giving them this business opportunity? That's going to do a couple things. Number one, it's going to change the way you talk to people. It's going to come off a whole lot less desperate, and it's going to come off a whole lot less selfish. They're going to feel that. They're going to pick up on that, and they're going to be more willing to listen to you because they realize how much you care about them. Number two, it's going to take the pressure off of you being scared to message people. If you come into this thinking, whose life can I change today? If you had the cure to cancer, would you share that with other people? Yeah, you would. So if you had this business opportunity that you truly believe is as amazing as you said in your post today, why would you not share it with other people? I would be selfish not to share this opportunity that's changed my life with other people. So why would I not share that with everybody? So I'm going to talk to them about it, and I'm not going to be ashamed to do it. I'm not going to be scared to do it. And it's going to make that better if my mindset is, whose life can I change today? How can I help the most people today? So I think that's like the biggest thing, because people get so discouraged. I can't get distributors. I can't do this. Like, if you say you can't do that, if you say you're struggling with something, that's exactly why you are. You're not going to, if you keep saying I can't get distributors, you're exactly right. It's because that's what you're speaking over yourself. That's what you're getting more back in return. But if you start saying, I am a rock star distributor enroller, I am enrolling rock stars, I am, enrolling my dream team, I am so excited, my story is relevant, like I have something to share, you're going to start getting that back. So you get to pick. Do you want to struggle? No. Then stop talking about a struggle. So stop saying that word. Take it out of your vocabulary. If you don't want to struggle, don't make that the object of your focus anymore. So I think mindset has a lot to do with it, because this business is 90% mindset. So if you can get that right, the rest of this will fall into place whenever you start using the tips that we're giving you. Sorry, that was a little long.
No, I totally 100% agree. I have always told my girls, like, I don't know if I heard it from her too, but it made so much sense. Like when people say like, I need to get this girl or she's almost hooked. I'm like, no. Like we can't think of it like that, because those are the people who you will sign, you have no connection with, and they will do nothing because you don't really truly care about them. And that was honestly what happened at my first conference. Is when I went from, oh, this is me, where y'all at to help me, to holy crap, like I have a gold mine that will literally change people's lives. And I don't know if you do this, but a lot of our team has just started journaling. And I'm so big with like affirmations, like I'll be in the shower and I'm like, I am this, I am that, whatever. Because our showers are only quiet time. So like I will just go crazy with that. But we have gone really, really big into like journaling and detailing. And that's something huge where I just talk so much, like now just very detailed, like I am signing this girl, like, my girl Rocio, like she went, talking as if and being thankful, like she went Ruby February. I'm so grateful for her. Like she's doing so amazing, all this kind of stuff. And it's real. Like guys, if you do not journal, like it's real freaking life. Yes. I love that. And you guys put out like your paycheck, put out your goal paycheck, put out these things. I love what you said in the beginning. I actually like wrote it down when you were talking about your story. And the turning point, it really sounded like what it was is when you started sharing a vision. When you started sharing your vision for your goals and then your team's vision. And that's really what it is, you guys. Like it does not matter where you are at. It just matters that you know where you're going and you know where you want to go, and people will follow. People will follow as long as you are wanting to go there and you share that, and you're really truly caring about them. Like I always say, like I know exactly what I need on my chart. Absolutely. I know exactly what I need on my chart. But after that, when I'm talking to somebody, it's about them, not me. And yes, that's so true. Like you'll know the difference when you, like I have some of my girls who after the call, they're like, oh my gosh, Christy, you're going to be the first double ambassador. And I'm like, why are you guys like worry about me? Like, come on, let's, and it just makes you feel so good, because it really is like, it's a team, you guys. Everybody gets to change their lives together, and it's just like so freaking awesome. And I'm obsessed with it, obviously, but I actually am really, really loving that first post after they get the customers, and then that second post after they get the second customer. I totally wrote that down. I'm totally going to have my girls do that, because it's so true. I think the biggest thing that people say that is hard is, or, their objection is, I don't have time. And to be able to just share, like, I'm doing this while this is happening. I'm doing this while this is happening. And that is really what people need to see. Yeah, that's so freaking awesome. I love that. I'm like obsessed with it. I'm gonna have all my girls do it right now. Every single one of them. Okay, go back. You never did this. What were you doing? What were you doing? Just make the post. So I love that so much.
Yes. Everyone at the same time tonight. Everybody go back to your first customer. Talk about it. Yes. Okay, so we have time for like a little, like one like blurb. Did you have anything that you wanted to ask?
So I really just wanted the fact that you don't have kids and you had a crazy busy schedule, because I think It's so funny. Sometimes people think the opposite. They think you're a stay-at-home mom. And so they think, oh, you are able to, just work at home and you don't have a job, so you can be on your phone all day. And I'm like, that's not real life. So really what I wanted to share is that time management. But what's your best tips, just really quick, for like big volume? Because that's really what the company is all about. And I'm totally big about upselling, but what is your biggest customer, like, bring-ins, I guess you could say?
Yeah, so I think it's super easy if you can start with like a hook, like a product that you know people are going to be interested in, like the Thermophyte X or the keto coffee. And starting by talking about, like, if you talk about one product, they're like, oh yeah, okay, cool, sounds good. And it's not overwhelming for them. It's not something that is intimidating for them to talk to you about, because they're like, oh, one product, like, that's probably super cheap, and it is very inexpensive. And so I get them hooked on that. And for the keto coffee, this is actually something I got from one of my diamonds on my team. She was like, I never talk about the keto coffee as a 15-day supply. She's like, why would anybody want to drink coffee every other day? Like, if you're a real coffee drinker, you drink at least 1 cup a day. And so she was like, all I do is I just say, yeah, perfect, keto coffee, blah, blah, a little bit about what it does. And they say, and then she says, so I can give you a month's supply. It's normally $130, but it's only $78 whenever you do the 90-day challenge. And that ends up being, I think it's $2.70 a day for coffee or something like that. And we talk about how that's way cheaper than Starbucks. And so that's something that I've been doing. And every single keto coffee order is $60 at least. Then I get their info, because I always place the customer orders myself, and I don't ever let them go to my website. So then I'll get their info and I'll say, oh my gosh, real quick, while I already have your info, and you already had their info, so worst case scenario, they say no and they just get 2 bags of keto coffee, right? But you're going to ask them anyways and say, hey, by the way, did you want to add a daily detox to this? It's the chocolate greens. It's going to make your coffee taste like a mocha. You get a $4 coupon whenever you add it. That's the perks points. And sometimes they'll do free shipping, so I'll add that in if they're doing that at the time, which right now they're not. So I'll just talk about that. And then they're like, oh yeah, sure, sounds good. And I'm like, perfect. Boom. Turned a 30 BV order into a 90 BV order, and I only had to do one thing to upsell, because they don't even know there's a 15-day supply. And then half the time they'll come back to me later and say, hey, like, my boyfriend stole all my coffee. Like, how do I get a bigger, pack? And they'll get the 4-pack, like buy 3, get 1 free pack. And something that I know a lot of my girls on my team do too is, like, the following month, they'll say, I know you're loving your coffee and your greens. Did you want to get even better results by adding the Thermophyte X this month? And a lot of them will change that 90 BV to 120 BV. And so now they're getting more products and they're getting on those longer. And so now, let's say for some reason they don't like the greens anymore, which they're crazy, but then they just want to get Thermophyte X. You don't lose out on that volume. And so you're not saying, did you want to do the same thing? And, like, did you want to switch? Like, no, you're just going to add it or no add it. Like, that's your 2 options. And so that's one thing that I do with Thermophyte X. I always try to say, if you're really, like, I take your tip too. Like, I do the same thing you said at conference, where I'm like, how much are you wanting to lose? Because if it's like 10, 15 pounds, they could probably get away with the Thermophyte X, but I'm going to at least recommend the greens to them. And then if they're wanting to lose 30 pounds, I'm going to say definitely the Thermophyte X and the, cleanse, and then the keto coffee and the greens. Like, I'm going to ask them, do they drink coffee? And if yes, then I'm going to kind of determine the conversation from there. So, I mean, that's pretty much all I do. Basically, all of my orders are 60 BV or more. And I do a lot of the triple threat because I have my own personal results from that. And if you don't, that's okay. Not everybody needs to use mine.
Do you find that you find most of your customers from Instagram? Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of them are through polls. And so, like, I'll do a poll and I will message everybody about that. And I always like to send my own personal results. If you don't have your own results because you don't need a certain product, you just use somebody else's. But I have my own personal results. So they're like, oh my gosh, like, that's awesome. And I always give the retail price and the customer price because they need to see that that really is such a big discount. And then I explain the 90-day challenge and tell them how they get the free Live Fit app and it's awesome. And they're like, cool, sounds good. I'm like, great. And then I don't ever ask if they're ready. I just assume the sale and I say, great, are your billing and shipping addresses the same? Perfect. Just send me this info and I'll get the order in. And then if there's ever a product that, I mean, like even hair, skin, and nails, like I'll say, okay, well, so the hair, skin, and nails obviously helps with skin too. So do you have any skin concerns? And I've actually upsold a hair, skin, and nails from a hair, skin, and nails to a weight loss pack and hair, skin, and nails, because I just took a few minutes to ask her about her life. Like I was like, do you have any skin concerns? And she's like, no, but I do want to lose weight because I just had a baby. I'm like, perfect, we have a weight loss pack. And she got it all. So, and one other thing that just popped into my head, when people say that they don't have money and they lead with that, or if they say, well, I don't know, like I don't know how much it's going to cost. That's going to really depend on like the price of everything. And you can just tell that they're going to say no to whatever you say because they're going to think it's too expensive. Just continue the conversation like they did never say that. Because a lot of times what I used to do, like way back when, was I would say, oh, that's okay, we have cheap products for like $25. Well, that's not going to give them the results that they need. One bottle of Fat Fighters is not going to help this girl lose the weight that she needs. So I will tell them exactly what they need still. And y'all, people saying that they're on a budget or people saying I don't have a lot of money means something different to everyone. I had a lady once, I still remember this, and she told me she didn't have a lot of money, and I almost did that, but then I was like, no, I learned this tip and I'm gonna continue to give her the information on the system. And so I told her about the system pack that we had back then. I don't even think we had the system anymore, but I told her about that pack, and it was $147. And she was like, well, how much are the hair, skin, and nails? And I told her, y'all, she got all of that. She got the system and the hair, skin, and nails, and she was like, I just am super broke right now. I don't have very much money. People will spend money on things that make them feel better about themselves, whether they have it or not. And sometimes whenever people say I don't have a lot of money to spend, they mean like I only have $200 to spend. Sorry, honey, like I don't have that much. Like it doesn't mean $25. So don't just automatically go back to the people or go back to the cheapest product that you can think of to try to get the sale. Give them what they really need, and then you can talk it down from there.
I've noticed that too, that the biggest thing is that really people are not, their version of broke is totally different. And they're like, and that's why I don't ever ask budget. That is not, I recommend per what their goals are, and that's pretty much it. And people will spend $100. And I think also the thing too is our products are so amazing that people think they're going to be more expensive than they actually are, but they're super affordable, especially when you break it down by day. Like I'm like, well, this is only like $350 a day, and they're like, oh, that sounds super legit. So I think that's the biggest thing. So, okay, cool. So really you find most of your customers from Instagram stories. So you're adding to your network and blowing it up is pretty much what it was. Yeah, that's pretty much what I do. You're muted.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
I message everybody too. Like all my followers, I go through and I message them just about the products.
Okay. That's good to know. What do you feel like your numbers are for that? Like your return?
Well, it's hard to say because I always go through and I message them initially, and I just say, would you want to be a product model, blah, blah, blah. And then if they don't reply, I'll go back and I'll say, did I catch you at a bad time? Because a lot of times I've literally had people sign up on the spot. They're like, oh crap, I saw this at work and forgot to reply, but yeah, I actually am super interested. What products are they? And then they get like keto coffee and greens on the spot. So it's hard to say because I don't really count how many people I message. I just kind of wait till I can go to bed and be like, good job, you did good today. Like leave nothing out on the table. So that's kind of how I do. But I mean, pretty good. Like I usually enroll like 50 to 80 customers a month, which is a big gap, but it just depends on the month.
No, yeah, I totally understand. And it's funny though, because I don't message for customers, but I sign like 40 or so big customers, but it's just because I blow up, my results and Instagram stories. So you guys, there are so many freaking ways, and let's just say you did it all. Then you'd really go crazy. And I know some of you guys are still working on your first 4, but I'm telling you, it's just about getting different eyes on your page and being confident. Like they are there. We each are signing like 100 customers together a month. That's a lot. There are people there for you, I promise. And what we're really trying to focus on is the duplication of 100 BV orders, each person signing their 4 customers at 100 BV. And that's like so simple. You can find 4 people that need these products and want these products. But yeah, so I don't really have any other questions. I don't know do you have any other questions? No? Okay, guys. This has been super, super amazing. My team is already blowing me up with all of your awesomeness. And I'm going to take a really quick picture. I always forget to.
I was about to do that. I literally have my phone out.
Okay, cool. Because I'm like, I always freaking forget. And we never get that. And we have a popping group right now, 225. So that's super legit. So I'm just going to go ahead and everybody smile. Okay. So thank you guys all for being on. And Morgan, thank you so much for kind of doing this together. This has been really amazing. And I will get this up for everybody for the recording for anyone who has missed it. And I hope you guys all have a really good, happy Monday night. And I'm super excited to see all of you guys promote in 3 weeks.
Yay!
Who's promoting?
Bye.
I'm promoting. Who's promoting? I'm promoting. Morgan's promoting. She's going ambassador. Okay. Bye, guys.